The Way of the Astral Self Monk. It's found in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, and the description goes as follows. A monk who follows the way of the astral self believes their body is an illusion. They see their ki as a representation of their true form, an astral self. Astral self has the capacity to be a force of order or disorder, with some monasteries training students to use their power to protect the weak, and others instructing aspirants on how to manifest their true selves in service of the mighty. Now, with this subclass, it can be compared a lot to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, because you get extra limbs, you get the ability to attack a lot, and aura, as they tend to do in on those shows. The whole concept of the astral self is to try and make a divide between physical body and the astral body. And in games like Dungeons and Dragons, you can go to the astral plane. There's a lot of potential for storytelling there. Finding your astral self would be a great plot hook for the first 5 levels, or 10 levels for that matter. But when you get to a certain level with the monk, you can say that you've attained enlightenment or something similar to that. And yeah, it feels like this subclass allows you to tell a story in 4 arcs. It's not just starting out in one thing and then you suddenly get good and that's it. It feels like you can train your way up. So let's have a look at the first ability. You get it at level 3. So, Arms of the Astral Self. Your mastery of Ki allows you to summon a portion of your astral self. As a bonus action, you can spend 1 ki point to summon the Arms of the Astral Self. Each creature you see within 10 feet of you must make a success on a dex save, or take force damage equal to 2 rolls of your martial arts die. Now, I like this because it scales up over time. It matches the martial arts die, so you're probably still going to be using this at later levels. It's not going to get redundant when you hit a certain threshold. For 10 minutes, the spectral arms hover near your shoulders or surround your arms, your choice. You determine the arm's appearance, and they vanish early if you are incapacitated or die. While the spectral arms are present, you gain the following benefits. You can use your wisdom modifier in place of your strength to make strength checks and strength saving throws. You can use your spectral arms to make unarmed strikes. When you make an unarmed strike, your arms on your turn, you reach it. So you get an extension of your range. You get chance to use your wisdom, so you don't have to boost up strength for the monk, which is quite handy. And the unarmed strikes let you use your wisdom modifier for damage and attack rolls. The level 3 ability, Arms of Astral Self, it doesn't feel completely overpowered, but essentially you can pump your wisdom up so you don't have to worry about strength or dexterity too much. Dexterity you should still get to a high level as a monk because it contributes towards your AC bonuses. I do like it because a lot of monks don't use wisdom as much as they should. I think wisdom is supposed to be the main stat for them. Making it force damage as well is quite good. I believe it's supposed to be bludgeoning damage, so force damage is resisted by a lot less things, constructs for example. So Visage of the Astral Self. As a bonus action, as part of a bonus action you take to activate the arms, you can spend a ki point to summon it for 10 minutes. So this is your face covering. A lot of people were comparing it to a stand from JoJo, but I think it's more in line with Spectral Suit of Armor so far. Almost like a ghostly mech of sorts. So you gain Astral Sight, you can see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical. It's got quite a good range as well, but to see through magical darkness is going to have great synergies with certain warlocks depending on the build they get. Yeah. And you get advantage on insight and intimidation checks. Well, the insight is on brand, but having advantage in intimidation checks, you normally wouldn't pick intimidation with monks because charisma is a dump stat for them. You could technically go dex, charisma, wisdom and just leave out the strength. You can play a feeble old man who's got his arms crossed and tries to not act tough, but as soon as combat breaks out you can start laying in the punches. And the last ability, Word of Spirit. When you speak, you can direct your words to a creature of your choice you can see within 60 feet of you. Alternatively, you can amplify your voice so that all creatures within 600 feet can hear you. Now, as someone that plays a lot of chaotic characters, this sounds like it has great potential. roleplay and out of combat abilities. Yeah, if you want to get attention to yourself and cause a ruckus, then give them a shout. So for level 6, it seems like you're, instead of giving it one big ability, you're giving them a stack of smaller advantages, which does add up over time, but it's a lot to remember. So, I think I would have preferred a singular, more impactful ability. But that's just my personal preference. I like it when it's streamlined and easy to read and easy to understand. There's some people that prefer to have as many advantages as they can. So the next one, Body of the Astral Self. When you have both your Astral Arms and Visage summoned, you can cause your Body of the Astral Self to appear. The body covers your physical form like a suit of armor. When you take Acid, Cold, Fire, Force, Lightning, or Thunder damage, you can use your reaction to deflect it. When you do so, the damage you take is reduced by 1d10 plus your Wisdom modifier. So that's not too powerful. I think at level 3 that would be a great ability, but at level 11 it's kind of just okay. Wait, hold on, is that every piece of damage you take? Actually, that's quite good. If it was a one-off, it would be okay at level 3, but yeah, that's you use your reaction every round. So it wouldn't work well with a Sentinel, but I could see uses for it, definitely. I mean, by that point, the Monk's pretty tanky in and of itself. And by tanky, it means it's good at avoiding taking damage. When it does get hit, it can damage it a lot, but this goes a lot of the way to mitigate it. And the other one for level 11 is Empowered Arms. Once in each of your turns, when you hit a target with your Arms of Astral Self, you can deal extra damage to the target equal to your martial arts die. So it's not an extra attack, but it's just extra damage on the initial attack. Yeah, that's a nice bit of scaling. So dealing double martial arts die damage. I mean, every hit helps. It's only once a turn, but who's going to refuse free damage? I think if you have a Goblin and you combine this with Fury of the Small, for example, I believe that's the ability that allows you to add damage once every long rest equal to your level. And Awakened Astral Self. Your connection to your Astral Self is complete. Or Awakened Astral Self, level 17. When your connection to your Astral Self is complete, allowing you to unleash your full potential, as a bonus action, you can spend 5 key points to summon the Arms, Visage, Body, and Astral Self and awaken for 10 minutes. So this is like a final form. So you can spend 5 key points, you get a +2 armor class. Armor of the Spirits. Armor class is good, but level 17 you're dealing with a lot of magical attacks and things that try and deal area of effect damage, so I think if you're going up against melee characters, then this could be good. And the second one is Astral Barrage. Whenever you use an extra attack feature to attack twice, you can instead attack 3 times. All the attacks are made with your Astral Arms. Oh yeah, so this is where the fighting ara 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 comes into play. I would say this is good, but it's not top tier. It's good at giving you bonuses to everything. It's a good all-rounder, so it gives you extra abilities to tank damage, admittedly all after level 10. It gives you a way to deal a little bit of extra damage. It gives you advantage on wisdom and charisma checks. It's lots of small benefits stacking up. And this kind of goes in theme with the monk, because you have lots of small abilities stacking up with the monk. Like at lower levels you're okay, but the higher you get, the more busted it gets. I'd give this a B. It's not an A class, it's not an S class. It's powerful. It allows you to tank, but I feel like there's just no spark there. There's no extra oomph to give it its own personality and character. I'm not sure how to improve it though. That's the thing. I don't like giving criticism if I can't think of a better way to do this. It seems like it's just adequate. There's no standout ability. I mean, yes, it looks fantastic to get the astral armor on, but you're just doing extra attacks. Maybe dealing elemental damage might be an option, but I don't think that crosses over with any of the other monk subclasses apart from maybe Ancestant Dragon, and the 4 elements get some elemental damage as well. What's Phil saying? Feels like a warlock that lacks any spell casting. Yeah, actually. I think that would work really well. If the idea of a warlock that channels its energy through ki and punches could have potential. The downside is that you might be accused of just taking one class and mashing it together with another, which sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. How would we improve the Astral Self Monk? I'm surprised it doesn't have anything like flying or leaping abilities. Like, well, to be fair, the monk already gets that in its base kit, so it wouldn't need too much. It gets bouncing around, leaping, parkour abilities, but no abject flying or hovering, I don't think. Well, if you watch this as a video, then feel free to leave me a comment down below and tell me how you could improve the Astral Monk.